Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning into a special edition Steelers pre-snap. I'm Luther Dupree. I'm joined as always by two Hall of Famers, Smokin Jim Frazier and Claudio Lozano. Guys, thanks for coming on.
What's going on? Thanks for having us.
All right.
We're back again.
Back again for another year. Steelers football. First things first, let's address these Steelers off-season moves. First, let's go with Claudio. What do you have for us? What do you think? What grade do you give them?
Well, first of all, the draft. We'll start with Pickens, the wide receiver. Love that pick. I think he's going to be a big-time player. But again, I'm going to stick with my comments that I made at the beginning. Number one, they needed to strengthen that offensive line. There were guys out there who I think could have helped now in the offensive line. They got Kenny Pickett, who I didn't think they should have drafted. For sure, not number one. If you want to draft him in the second round, third round, great, but not number one, 20th overall. I think that by signing Trubisky, I thought that was a good move. But then by drafting Pickett, I think that lessened that move a little bit. I've never been sold on Pickett. Nice, very good, successful college player. That's great. Will his talents transition over to the NFL? Again, I don't think it's going to be on that level. Everybody even says, well, he's going to be Kirk Cousins. You better hope he turns into Kirk Cousins, okay? I think he's going to be a fantastic backup. As far as the starters, again, I just don't buy it to be a starter. The hiring of Omar Khan, I would have gotten Louis Riddick in a heartbeat. I would have talked to him one time, and the day he shows up at the office, I give him a contract. Period, end of story. Khan is a numbers cruncher. That's great. But you need somebody who knows talent, who knows the NFL's talent, the college talent, and also the mechanics of a player. And I won't go into specifics on why I think Louis Riddick was good at that, but Louis Riddick would have been a fantastic general manager. Overall, I mean, I like the Miles Jack signing. I think that's going to be big time. Overall, and even people aren't talking about the Devin Bush. They're talking about maybe not signing him next year, maybe hopefully lighting a fire under him. Overall, offseason moves, I give it a C+.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Smokin Jim, what do you consider this offseason?
Hey, thanks, Luther. I agree with everything Claudio said. I wasn't a real fan of the draft, which is okay. But I thought the off season, I would grade their off season a B plus. I thought they addressed the needs of the coaching staff. They did a great job of bringing in some quality coaches, offensive line coach Flores.
Flores, yes.
Yeah, I thought that they acquired some veteran leadership, like Claudio said, Miles Jack, the African on the defensive line that helped beat up Rudolph when he played for Cleveland and did well for Cleveland and Cincinnati. So I think that as far as an off season, I would give their off season a B plus.
Jim?
Yeah, I was done.
Jim?
Could you hear me?
He's done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed the last part. All right. So what was the grade you gave it?
B plus.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm shocked. Okay. I give it a C plus. I like what they did as far as bringing in Miles Jack, as you guys have mentioned. I like signing Minkah Fitzpatrick long term, and I think getting the defensive tackle, as you said, Jim, from Cincinnati was a steal. I think the injury didn't cause him to get a big contract, and we got him relatively cheap. The offensive line, I didn't like the fact that we didn't address it. The fact that Dan Moore is still a starter and that Kendrick Green was in line for a starting position till we lost that. I think that was big. As far as Mason Cole and James Daniels, thought they'd be a little better. Hopefully they'll continue to improve during the season. But I give it a C plus, mainly because they didn't fix the offensive line. They didn't improve it enough. And we knew that was a sore spot last year. I don't think they addressed it enough. They got two new players, but still the same guys. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully offensive line comes together better. I think they could have done more as far as addressing it. I think they did get a quarterback of the future in Kenny Pickett, um, but and also bringing in Mitch Trubisky at a reasonable price. So they were able to address some defensive needs, and they still had some money left over. So we'll see. But I give it a C plus because I think they could have done more with the offensive line. All right, Claudio, start with you. What is your huddle up, Claudio?
When you think of the Chicago Bears in 1985, you think of their defense, of course, but who was the architect of that defense? That was Buddy Ryan. But not only the X's and O's of the defense, but his emotional, what he brought emotionally to that team. I thought when they got Brian Flores and watching the exhibition season and how he was, I like that kind of coach. I think they needed that kind of coach, but they're throwing him in the press box, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure they're going to have him in the press box. When you throw him in the press box, I don't like it. He needs to be on the field. I know that may sound like not an important thing, an important factor, but I think it is. That, and I think that another thing that I think is going to be tough by bringing in Kenny Pickett, as soon as Trubisky throws one interception, and he's going to throw an interception, he's going to throw 10, 12, 11. As soon as he does that, everybody's going, we want Kenny. Because who's the most popular player on the team? The backup quarterback. Ask Mark Malone. Ask Cliff Stout. Ask Mike Tomczak. Ben actually did it. But that's the way that works. And finally, for my huddle up, I think people are going to really miss number 7. I know he didn't have it physically as much as he used to, obviously, but he had it mentally. He was never in a panic. He won out of those 9 wins last year. He had a huge part in pretty much just about all of them. I think they're going to miss him. Yes, he was short passes, but if Pickett gets in there, he's not going to be, Daryl LaMonica, Ken Stabler, the Mad Bomber. They're not going to be doing that. So he dink and dunk. They're going to miss Roethlisberger more than they think.
Okay. All right. Cool. Smokin Jim, 1st and 10, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks, Luther. I think that people dismissed a lot of things that Ben Roethlisberger said in the offseason. He said that, Kevin Colbert didn't want him back. Mike Tomlin was iffy on it, and that the owner, Art Rooney II, brought him back. But what he said that was most important was that this team lacks leadership in the locker room. Cam Hayward's a joke as a leader. The only thing he did all training camp was beat up Benny Snell, who weighs 100 pounds less than him. For them to go and promote Trubisky, the team captain, was the worst move they could have made. It took Big Ben years. Big Ben years and Troy Polamalu years to become a team captain because they did their own thing in the off season. Trubisky, like Claudio said, he's probably going to be benched by the 4th game of the season. What's the referee going to have to do? Come to the bench to get the play call? I thought it was a joke putting Najee Harris as a team captain. Granted that the only great running backs they had in their history, last name was Harris. He's a great running back, but
Ooh.
this is a guy that's a leader of the homeless. He wasn't team captain of Alabama. The reason Troy Polamalu was not team captain for many, many years because he did his own thing in the offseason. And it's the same way with Najee Harris. He's one of the most conditioned guys on the team, but he's not around in the offseason. He does his own thing. He has no business being promoted to team captain. Big Ben took him years to be promoted as team captain. So I think the lack of leadership, which Big Ben said, is going to play a big part in the early development of this football team.
Okay. I disagree with just about everything you said there, Jim. But I hear Hey, listen, I want to talk about the NFL contract situation. Now we're looking at fully guaranteed contracts. I was saying for years the players should have held out for fully guaranteed contracts. We did see the first one in Deshaun Watson, 230 million, fully guaranteed. We see quarterbacks getting a lot of money, fully guaranteed. Lamar Jackson is playing with fire. The Ravens should have given him a contract. The fact that he's still considering playing without a contract, he could be blowing $230 million. He should have followed Emmitt Smith and held out. He holds out 2 games. They go 0-2. He would have got his money just like Emmitt Smith did. You know, the way he plays fearless. He plays hard. He just got injured last year. He should have never negotiated the contract on his own. It might blow up in his face. I know him and his mother were mainly doing the negotiations. I thought it was a good move, but the fact that you didn't put it out there, I don't have a contract, I'm not going to play, I think it's a disastrous move. I do like the fact that players are getting guaranteed contracts. They should have been held out for this. Before it was just whatever you got in your signing bonus, that was all you were guaranteed. These players have to stand tough. They should have been fighting for this guaranteed contracts years ago, and they have to stand on it. I'm, worried about Lamar Jackson's safety. He plays too reckless to be out there without this guaranteed contract. Without a contract beyond this year, he's still on his rookie deal. I think it's a bad move, and I think him and his mother didn't negotiate in good faith. You can't go in there like friends. It's a business. Whether you want to play or not, it's a business first. Dak Prescott played, got injured, and Dallas Cowboys took care of him. Will the Ravens do the same thing? Could be a bad move. We'll see.
Excellent points, Luther. Excellent points.
Hey, Luther.
Yes.
Is there something we need to know about Lamar Jackson and his mother? I mean, they went to the prom together. now she's negotiating this contract. Is there something that's untold, Lou?
Hey, they're tied at the hip. They're tied at the hip. They're trying to do their own thing. It's been successful so far. He got a Heisman in college. He's got a Super Bowl MVP. Let's see if he gets a fully guaranteed contract next.
Hey, Jim, you know who should have been his agent? Deontay Wilder's wife.
Oh, goodness.
I'm being like Jim now.
Right. Hey, listen, man, before we get off, let's start with the Steelers D versus the Bengals offense. Smokin Jim, what are your thoughts? Who has the advantage, and what do you expect to see?
You usually start with Claudio, but okay, I'll go.
Well, I wanted to wake you up. You finally sound like you got up, Jim. So I wanted to keep you going. You finally got the smoke and fire going. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, like Claudio said, what the Pittsburgh Steelers has to do is they have to lead the league in defenses like the 1985 Bears. This is a team. Listen, T.J. Watt is the greatest player in Steeler history. His jersey should have been retired before Franco's. Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to stay healthy. They have to make plays on the defensive side of the football. This is a bad matchup for any defense because Cincinnati's offense is unbelievable, and they should school the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's in the learning process with their defense with all the new coaching staff. So I look for Cincinnati Bengals to have their way with the great Pittsburgh Steelers defense today.
Okay. All right, Claudio, what do you think? As we talk
the second time they play, I agree with Jim 1,000%. The first game of the season, I think the defense usually in the NFL has an advantage over the offense, especially nowadays. Now, back in the 70s, piece of the 80s, whenever they used to play 6-7 exhibition games and your starters played, okay, different story. Now, Joe Burrow, I don't believe, took a snap. Okay, he's going to be rusty. Practice is a hell of a lot different than game time, speed, everything. I know for us as the Global Scouting Bureau, when we have pro baseball tryout camps, the first day when we test the skills and have kind of like a light workout, man, you'll see some guys, okay, looks pretty good. Then the next day, whenever we play the game's faster, that's when guys start to fall off. Okay, you see where they are. I think that Burrow is going to be rusty. Okay, I think they're really going to have to run the ball against the Steeler defense, but the Steeler defense is going to know that. I think the Steelers I don't think that they should be the highest paid defense overall. I don't think they're going to play like it, but they do have some splash guys, as they say. And then they got Jack, which I like a lot. I think he's going to be a huge addition, which hopefully allows Minkah Fitzpatrick to do his thing. If he leads the team in tackling, they're in trouble. But I think the fact that Burrow, he's got a lot of weapons. which we'll get into when we talk about the Steelers. Well, again, he's got the great receivers. He's got Chase, he's got Higgins, he's got Boyd, which I know Jim doesn't like. So they've got a lot of great weapons, and Mixon, of course. But is he going to be sharp enough to hit them? I think they're going to blitz a lot against him, make him rush, and that's going to make the game even faster for him. So I think the Steelers are going to have a pretty good day defensively, even though you might be surprised with my score. But go ahead. That's what I think about.
Hey, Claudio. Hey, Claudio. Hey, Claudio.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Claudio. How long have you been a head coach?
How long has Tomlin been a head coach?
How long have you been a head coach?
What is this, his 16th, 17th year?
Wow.
Have you ever cut and paste?
Oh, me? How long have I been a head coach? Okay. No, I've been coaching. I don't know, a long time. I've been coaching 39 years, probably head coach about 20 some odd years, 25 years. So no, I've never cut and paste.
Jim now was a secretary that did a little cut and paste and Mason Rudolph. You still trying to get him in the starting lineup, huh, Jim? That's your first L of the off season. Hey, listen, I think the Steelers team may struggle with this Bengals offense. Now they had questions with their offensive line last year.
Right.
We weren't able to get there effectively, and Burrows pretty much tore us up. He's top of the line. They have a great running back in Joe Mixon. Tyler Boyd is still there, but they have probably maybe the best young receiver in the game in Jamar Chase. I think he destroys our cornerbacks on a regular basis. And I think it's going to be a tough go. I think we're going to have a tough time getting off the field on third down with this Bengals offense. But we'll see if they made the adjustments to their offensive line. That's why they lost the Super Bowl. They couldn't block the Rams last year. And hopefully we're able to get some pressure to make Joe Burrow feel uncomfortable back in that backfield. So I give the advantage to the Bengals offense over our defense right now. I think we'll be able to run and pass the ball against us, unfortunately. All right. Claudio, how about our offense versus the Bengals defense? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they're going to. One thing I didn't like last year, it seemed like they were scattered as far as when something was working, they didn't continue to do it. Okay, if something's working, keep doing it. Don't try to be cute about it. I think they should establish something. Most likely, going to try to establish the running game with Harris, which is good. And they're going to do dink and dunks. They have some receivers to go deep. I would try to get Claypool in the middle, Freiermuth, guys like that. And I would use Najee Harris a little bit deeper than just throwing him 2-3 yard patterns, but they're not going to do that. But what I think they're going to do is I'm assuming, and another thing with Matt Canada, everybody's going to expect him, okay, Ben's gone, now we can open things up. Are they going to open things up because it's the first game of the season, or is he going to be conservative? So I think that's going to be a big decision. I think they're going to be conservative, which could be okay. I think Najee Harris, workhorse, are going to give him the ball. I would, but I'm expecting at least 20 sometimes a game, or 22 times today. I'm expecting him to have a pretty big game. If he does well, then that'll open up more of the passing game. Cincy's defense is a little underrated. They're not bad. But again, at the beginning of the season, you don't know who these guys are yet. I think, again, because the lack of playing time in the exhibition season. They may play a series. They may play 2 series, and they go sit down. Everybody's afraid to get hurt. I kind of get that. But then you're rusty the first couple games, so you can get hurt then too. So, but I'm expecting both offenses to have some turnovers. Whoever runs the ball better is going to do better because it's less risk for turnovers.
Okay. All right, Jim.
Hey, Lou. I think I need to say this every time we play Cincinnati, is that Tyler Boyd is the weakest link on their offense. But
a friend of the show, rip friends of the show, how is he the weak link? And his catch rate is highest in the league. Did you know that, Jim?
Let me see. Jamar Chase is the first option. Higgins is the second option. The running back is the third option. So again, if they're throwing at Tyler Boyd, the quarterback's almost about to get sacked. That's about his fourth or fifth read. But anyhow, no knock against him. He's just a weak link.
Not
Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football, but Chase Claypool is number 2.
Oh, Jim.
So
He's not even
we
number
got the
20.
number 2. We got the number 2 receiver. But listen, I look for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense not to do well this week. Don't forget Cincinnati Bengals offense shut down the quarterback for Kansas City. Not once, but twice last year. Patrick Mahomes shut him down in the whole second half to go to the Super Bowl last year. And if they can do that to Patrick Mahomes, they can definitely do that to Mitch Trubisky.
All right, Jim, I hear what you're saying. Listen, I think our offense may struggle a little bit. Like I said, the problems with the offensive line could come back to bite us a little bit. But I think receiver-wise, we're strong. You know, the weak link for us might be Chase Claypool. Smokin Jim, the guy you said is a number 2 receiver. Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are clearly number 1 and number 2 option. And Najee Harris made it be the number 3. We never know what we're going to get from Chase. First season he came on, 10 touchdowns. Last season he's celebrating first downs while the clock runs out and we're losing ball games. That and him always playing small. You know, you're 6'5", but you're playing like 5'5". We need him to play big. He's one of the big play receivers. He didn't do it last year. I think our offensive line is going to struggle. And the Bengals defense, do they still have Eli Apple as a cornerback? He is a weak link. We need to target that man often. You know, if he's one-on-one with no safety coverage, Mitch Trubisky changed the play, and we can go right after him. He's a target. He may be the worst cornerback on the whole field this Sunday, and we need to take advantage of it. But I still give this advantage to the Bengals defense. They've been together a little more, but they do have that Achilles heel, which is Eli Apple, and he's still starting, and he's still available to be picked on constantly. So hopefully Matt Canada and Trubisky target him off often, and we can get some things done for that. As we wrap up, I just want to go to the comments. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. We had Mark Nash saying, what's up? Frank Jackson, salute, guys, back again. We got Terry French. Hey, guys, I agree. The O-line is trash.
What's up, Terry?
And Terry says, Jim, you're crazy. Lamar and his mom. Yeah, that's Smokin Jim.
Hey, Jim knows who goes to the prom with each other, who's dating in high school. Jim knows all that.
Sick man, as people say. Hey, let's look at this now. Fantasy football wise. Joe Burrow. Claudio, do you start Joe Burrow?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
He's gonna be rusty, but yeah.
All right, Smokin Jim. Sit or
yeah,
start?
he may go to Canton after this game, but I know one thing: he'll never donate to Ohio State. He'll never donate to Ohio State. He'll never donate to Ohio State.
Oh goodness, yeah, he made the right move. You know, that just tells you how stacked Ohio State's locker room was for Joe Burrow to have to go to LSU to become a starter. Wow. Yeah, I think he's a play. I think he's going to put up at least 2 touchdowns, 250, 260 yards against our cornerbacks. How about Joe Mixon? You think we should would you start him? So Joe Mixon, the running back for
I definitely start him. Yes, for sure. Although, like I said, it's supposed to rain out there, so that may play a role. But I think you definitely start Mixon.
Okay. Jim, what you got? Joe Mixon, sit or start?
Yeah, you got to play him. Don't forget when Najee Harris was a freshman in high school, Joe Mixon was a senior, so they're very good friends. They played against each other in high school.
Okay. All right. Jamar Chase.
Only one was homeless.
Oh, Jim, let the man listen.
I'm just saying. No. I don't want to think Joe Mixon was homeless.
Let that man live, man. He's made away for himself. He's came from that situation, and he celebrates with him. He's given a lot of money to that homeless shelter, Jim. Jamar Chase, player start, Jim. Yeah, he got to be a start. I agree. He got to start. I think he's going to be unstoppable. We don't have a corner that can cover him one-on-one. Even double teams, we may not be able to stop him. Claudio, what are your thoughts? Sit or start?
Without question, you start him.
All right. And a Steel City Sports World legend, Tyler Boyd. He always tries to play well against the Steelers. I would say start him. Maybe it's not your number 1 or 2, but number 3 receiver or the slot position, I would definitely start him. He loves to play the Steelers and always looks to have a big game. Smokin Jim, sit or start?
He's making $10 million a year, which he's the highest paid player on Cincinnati Bengals. He's the highest paid player on Cincinnati Bengals offense. I would cut him before the game starts. Save some of that wasted money.
That's an insane statement. Tyler Boyd's one of the best receivers. Led the team to the Super Bowl last year. Come on, Jim. Claudio, sit or start?
You got to start him. I think they're going to concentrate so much on Chase. I think that there are going to be some moments when he's open.
Okay. All right, let's go to the Steelers. Mitch Trubisky. Smokin Jim, do you start him or do you sit him this game?
I sit him and play Mason Rudolph.
Oh, he doesn't even have a helmet. You're still trying to make yourself fight, Jim. Take this L. I told you he wasn't going to be starting. I'm surprised he's still on the team. I thought he would have been traded by now. But evidently other teams feel the way I do. Mason is not it. Claudio, you sit or start Mitch Trubisky?
I'm going to sit him because I think they're going to use him wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I sit him too. I don't know what he's going to have. I don't know how much time he's going to have back there. He looked good the season, but again, he only played a couple series. Now we can see him full time. But as far as a leader, Jim, he's been acting like a leader since he got here. Remember, he had all the receivers and quarterbacks come down to his home in Florida so they could get that extra work. Great leadership quality, and his team voted him captain. So you got to respect that he has leadership qualities. I've been impressed with Mitch since he's gotten here. I wasn't happy on the signing, but he's making me a believer that he wants it, and I'm proud of what he's doing. All right, Jim, you weighed it? Okay, you weighed it. How about Najee Harris? Claudio, sit or start?
Definitely start him. He's going to get the ball handed to him, and he's going to catch some passes. He's the workhorse. You have to start him.
Okay. Smokin Jim, sit or start Najee?
The best running back in all of football. I would take the C off his jersey and give it to somebody that deserves it, but I definitely start him.
Hey, he's a well-deserved captain. He's been acting like a leader since he got there as a rookie, and it just tells you the work that he's put in, that his teammates think he's a leader already. He's big time. He can do it all. Yes, definitely start him. He's going to get yards on the ground. He's going to get passes through the air, and he's going to play. Tomlin's going to run him into the ground, so he's going to get that work. So, yeah, you got to start him. How about the rookie, George Pickens? I was high on him. I actually caught this pick before they picked him in the draft. I said if he was there, they would get him in the second or third round, and I was right again. This guy's special. Georgia said he has more talent or as much as A.J. Green when he was there, and they'd be surprised if he didn't have that type of career or even better. So I think he's going to be a play. I think he's going to get some catches this game. I wouldn't have him as my 1 or 2, but I definitely would put him out there. I think he's going to have 2 or 3 big plays, maybe 4 catches, but tall, athletic, can do everything, great hands. I would give him a chance as a slot, maybe my number 3 receiver in the fantasy. How about you, Claudio?
This is a tough one. I think he's got a world of talent if used properly. I think he's got a world of talent, but will Trubisky have time to throw to him? I think he's got a world of talent, but I don't know if Canada is going to open up the playbook the first week or so. I'm going to say sit him.
Okay. How about you, Smokin Jim?
Well, I've seen better pass routes on Sesame Street. He runs the worst pass patterns ever seen in my life, but he's a freak of nature. He's the next Randy Moss. He can go to the Pro Bowl this year. but watch the way he runs pass patterns is horrible. I would
All right,
start him.
started. All right, let's jump back. All right, Frank Jackson says Mitch will surprise us. All right, Terry French, Pickens is a beast. I agree. Frank Jackson getting Pickens is still his rookie of the year. He's calling it early. Okay. All right, I like that. All right.
What did Terry say, Luth? I'm sorry.
He said he's a beast. He's a beast. What about Tenderfoot, as Smokin Jim was calling him last year? Deontay Johnson, we didn't know if he was going to play. Now he's saying he's going to play. Smokin Jim, you sit or start him? Jim, are you with us?
He's a brittle brother. He won't last longer than he's a brittle brother. He won't last longer than the first quarter. Sitting.
Sit him. All right, Claudio, you trust that his shoulder's going to hold up this game?
Sit him.
Sit him. Wow, no love for DJ. Listen, I think DJ's going to do everything he can because he sees Eli Apple out there. I think he knows if he gets a one-on-one at Eli Apple, he knows every single time. You know, I wouldn't start him as my number 1 or 2, but he's going to get out there because Eli Apple is across from him, and he knows he can get off against Eli Apple. All right, how about the Steelers D? All right, actually, let's go with Chase Claypool. Jim, you always talk high about him. You said he's the number 2 receiver in the league. What can we expect from him? What do you expect?
Well, every game I expect him to go past Terrell Owens for the most catches and most yards in a single game in NFL history. That's what I always expect.
All right. Well, you've been wrong on that quite a bit. How about you, Claudio?
I'm going to say, even though everything I said about Pickens, somebody's got to catch the ball today. I'm going to say play him.
Okay. I don't know what to expect from Chase Claypool. You know, it's a big year for him. He's trying to get another contract. We know he's not going to get it with the Steelers, with Deontay Johnson getting an extension and George Pickens here. He got to play with a chip on his shoulder. You know, this is probably his last year here. But I would sit him. I don't know what he's going to do. You know, I don't know where his head is at. All right, but let's jump into the comments real quick. Eric Witt is back. All right, Pickens will get it done. All right, and we got Herbie Riddell saying hi. And here we go, these trolls. All right, let's go Steelers. All right, Herbie, appreciate that. All right, let's go back and look at the Steelers D. What do you think our Steelers D is going to do with TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, Miles Jack? Do you sit or start our defense? Do you think we could hold them down? Claudio?
I say start him because, again, I think that Burrow is going to be a little rusty. Yes, they have a lot of weapons. Is he going to be able to time them up right and hit them? Mixon is going to get a lot of carries, but they're going to know he's going to get the ball. I say start the Steelers defense.
Okay. Smokin Jim. Devin Bush is still starting inside linebacker. What do you do?
I bench the Steelers defense. Sit them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a bench as well. Bengals offense is very explosive, and I'm not sure about our corners against the receivers. You know, Higgins and Chase and the Steel City Hall of Famer Tyler Boyd. I don't know. That's always a tough matchup, and they have a great running back. Offensive line still not sold on those guys, but I would definitely sit them. All right, as we go to the last portion of this show, guys, and thanks for all the comments coming in. And we got Terry French. The D will be our only saving grace. Okay. All right, Terry, I hear you. All right, bold prediction. Claudia, what do you have for our bold prediction?
Okay, this isn't the score of the game. Bold prediction is they're going to – well, it's not really a bold prediction, but Trubisky's going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders, not just from the team. I'm talking about, again, as soon as he makes a mistake, that whole place is going to erupt. Because if Kenny Pickett, when he takes his hat off, they go crazy. When he ties his shoes, they go crazy. And that's going to be a lot of pressure for him. Maybe he might try to do more than – I told one of my players the other day for our game today, if we play, stay within yourself. Don't try to do too much. I think Trubisky's going to try to do too much. I think it's going to cost him. Pickett will probably get in there a lot sooner than he should.
Okay. All right. Smokin Jim, bold prediction.
I think that head Coach Mike Tomlin, will cut and paste his way into his first losing season. So,
That's funny, Jim. Listen, my bold statement is I think the Steelers can win 9 or 10 games and fight with Cincinnati and Baltimore for the division title. I think this might be the best division in football. So I think they'll be right in the mix. All right, Frank Jackson.
What was bold about that, Lou?
Well, you just said he's going to have his first losing season. I think he's going to win 10 games to fight for the title. All right, hey, last one, final score. Claudio, what you have for the final score?
Even though I talked about the defenses being ahead of the game, I think there'll be some turnovers, which means shorter playing field. 23-17 Cincinnati.
Okay, 23-17. All right, that's in the book. How about you, Jim?
Cincinnati Bengals, I got them winning the game 55-10.
Gee, all right. All right, Frank Jackson said Steelers 20-17 for the W. Okay, Frank, got you in the book. And unfortunately, I think the Bengals are going to win this one as well. They're at home. They get that banner, the AFC North title, and the AFC winners raised up. I think they're going to be hyped, and I think they do come out with a victory. I'm going to say 23-17 Bengals win. All right, we got Terry French. He says 27-17 Cincinnati. So it looks like we're all going Cincy in a close game. Jim has a blowout again.
Luther, so you have same as me, 23-17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go 23-20 so we don't have to say more.
He's got to be different.
Cincinnati. that extra field goal. And, okay, the only one we have with Steelers winning is Frank Jackson for the W. All right. Hey, well, that's our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got my man Herbie. Steelers 37, Bengals 27. Oh, a shootout.
Okay.
All right, Herbie, I hope you're right, man. That means we got an exciting game, and it's going to be on and popping. So, hey, I want to thank Mark, Frank, Terry, Eric, Herbie, and everybody, Frank Jackson as well, for coming through. Hope we have a great season. It was a great show, and I'm excited about this season. I can't wait. A lot of great things are going to happen. So, for Smokin Jim, for Claudio Rosano, thank everybody for tuning in. It's going to be a great year, a great show, and we'll check you out next time. Peace.